Good afternoon, everyone. In our previous session, we have seen a few of the revision things, right, of your Unit 3, image enhancement, right? And now we are going to start with the unit number 4. We are going to start new unit where image enhancement techniques into the frequency domain. That's what we are going to see. So let's start with this. This is what your image filtering techniques. Unit name is that, but we have included here frequency domain part also over here. Right. So what we need to see here is about the Fourier series. Very first thing, what do you mean by Fourier spectrum or Fourier series or anything about it? Anybody can tell me why we are using this and all? Yes, any one of you can answer this. Hello? What is Fourier spectrum or Fourier transform or Fourier series or anything which you know about? You can answer here. Huh? No one? Okay, fine. See, Fourier series is what? Okay, I'm directly showing you this. What you can see over here. This is what the different kind of frequencies I'm having, right? One of the frequencies, second, third, this fourth, different frequencies, and this is what the summation of this different kind of patterns into one. This is what the function here, which is showing you, is the sum of the four functions above it. So Fourier's idea in 1807 that periodic functions could be represented as the weighted sum of sines and cosines. Right? This was actually found by that Joseph, the person whose idea was this Fourier's transform and this Fourier series. Because of him, you are learning this. So Fourier series is what? Any periodically repeated function that can be expressed of the sum of sines or cosines of different frequencies, each multiplied by the different coefficient, that is known as Fourier series. I hope you guys are knowing this thing. I hope you guys will understand this, what is the Fourier series is. Say yes or no. Yes. Okay. Okay. Then what is Fourier transform? See, the finite curves that can be expressed as the integral of your sines or cosines, that is multiplied by the weighting function, weightage function, widely used in a signal processing field, right? Integral of the sines and cosines multiplied by, see here also this is multiplied by a different coefficient. Whatever the coefficient you will multiply with it, that is what your coefficient of weightage, whatever the weightage you want to give, right? And widely we are using this in signal processing. Okay. So here the Fourier series or transform that can be reconstructed completely via the inverse process. So what we are saying, suppose into any of the intensity transition function, any intensity transition function or intensity transformation function, we have seen that no strictly monotonically increasing. Why we said that? Because if once we are going from R to S, then there should be a way to come back from S to R, right? A very similar thing is over here. If we are going from spatial domain to frequency domain, then we need to come back from frequency domain to spatial domain, right? So the Fourier series or this transform that can be reconstructed completely via the inverse process. Okay. So here the frequency domain that refers to the plane of two-dimensional discrete Fourier transform of an image. The purpose of this Fourier transform is to represent a signal as a linear combination of the sine signals of various frequencies. So this all are with the various frequency. You can check. Frequency means what? Anybody who can tell me this? What is frequency? Yes. 1 upon time. Okay. One is saying 1 upon time. Anything else? What said to be a high frequency or what said to be a low frequency? Can anybody tell me this? Hello, somebody. You have already learned that subject, not DCN. So you know this term very well. DCN.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Just a minute. Yes, Rahul, you are saying something. Say.
Ma'am, couldn't hear to your question. It was lagging.
Sorry.
Your voice was lagging in between when you asked the
Yes.
question.
I'm asking that what is frequency?
It's the time taken to complete a. It's the inverse of the time taken to complete a wave or something.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. So that is what your high frequency and low frequency. So here, which frequency is the higher one and which one is the lower one? Can you tell me? High frequency, okay. And this is what your low frequency? Okay, fine. The purpose of the Fourier transform is to represent a signal as a linear combination, right? This is what your combination. This is what your Fourier transform, right? Here the combination of all this sine wave signals of various frequency into the one. So how they are representing? Because here they will be having here the coefficient which is higher than this, obviously, because here in this particular time we are completing one cycle, and with this time only we are completing 6 cycles. So 6 is what? That is your weightage, right? In that way. Okay. Here this Fourier transform and this in this frequency domain, first your signal would be the analog signal, right? But if we are working with the digital computer, we cannot work with anything which is analog. We need the discrete value, right? No? So we need to convert analog to digital. But this is what we are showing here. That is what for the continuous case, or you can say for the analog signal, right? If it is your one-dimensional Fourier transform and its inverse, so here you can check what is your Fourier transform formula. Every time you need to write the notes, you need to make the notes over here, right? Otherwise you won't get anything after that. Okay, so please write all the formulas. Please write all the formulas. First is f of u. Whenever we are talking about this f of x, so you can understand what x and y. If it is one dimensional, see clearly written, it is one dimensional. So it is a single dimension, one of the vector. So that here this variable x is nothing but a variable of your spatial domain. Same way u is the variable into your frequency domain. Over there we will use the variable name as u and v. Okay, u and v, that variable names we will use, and here into the spatial domain we were using x and y. So f of u equals to minus infinite to plus infinite f of x into e raised to minus j 2 pi ux into dx. This is what we are applying integration, right? Because we are having already my image into the spatial domain, that is known as this f of x, right? No? So this is what the formula, how it comes and all, that specification is not given. Yeah, that specification is not given. So you can write down this formula, and if we want inverse Fourier transform, means we want to come back from frequency domain to the spatial domain. So here we want is what? Spatial domain image. So that we are saying f of x equals to what we are having? Frequency domain figure. So minus infinity to plus infinity f of u into e raised to, and here we don't have minus j, instead of that it's plus j, j 2 pi ux into du. And if we will talk about here the angle, right, the phase angle, then it is e raised to j theta equals to cos theta plus j sin theta. This is what already given, right? How it is coming and all, you can check into the book. They've directly given this formulas, right? So we also have the same. And if the same thing is into this two-dimensional, then the Fourier transform, that is what into the continuous case, we can consider it as f of uv equals to, here we are applying for the 2 times integration, one for row and one for column, that you know. So f of xy into e raised to, and this ux plus vy dx into dy. And here it was only dx, right? Because it was a single variable. Here we are having two variables. So it was only ux. But now you are doing ux plus vy. Okay? So this is how you will get inverse Fourier transform f of xy equals to this integration is capital F of uv raised to this du into dv, because you have already u and v, so you will apply here this dummy variables for the integration as du dv, right? So have you noted this formulas? So we can move ahead. Written? Hello, here? Yes. Now you can check for this. What this is? Check. The one-dimensional Fourier transform and its inverse. But here this is in the discrete case, because now we want a discrete Fourier transform, not only Fourier transform, discrete Fourier transform. So that is DTC. F of u equals to 1 upon m. This m means number of samples that what we are having, right? 1 upon m sigma this x equals to 0 to m minus 1. For this you are doing f of x into e raised to, the formula is same, but here you will divide by m. Okay? Here you will divide by m. And here your value for the u will be for 0 to till m minus 1. Same way for this inverse Fourier transform, we will get this f of x equals to sigma u is equals to 0 to m minus 1, f of u into e raised to j 2 pi ux divided by m. Again your x will have 0 to m minus 1, because whatever your number of rows and columns and all that will remain as it is into your frequency domain also, and when you will come back to your spatial domain, right? No change in that. Okay. Then thus what this is for the two-dimensional. Here we are having u and v, so you will divide with 1 upon m and n, both m into n, right? And you are applying everywhere x and y both. So here ux divided by m plus vy divided by n. Same way for the reverse. So please note it down here. Here you can check u and v is what? The transform, or you can say the frequency domain variables. And x and y are the spatial, or you can say image variables. Okay. Please note it down. Now, here few of the definitions that what you need to know. This is just for the definitions, right? What is sampling? We have seen no sampling and here this quantization, but here what is sampling in frequency domain? In the frequency term, again it is very similar to what we are having, because in that also digital image processing, how we are actually getting digital image. First we were having analog signal and then we are taking that samples, so we are having here the digital signals. So the same kind of definition, but here it is again given into the terms of signal processing, that continuous functions have to be converted into the sequence of discrete values before they can be processed in computer. That is known as sampling. Here the sampling theorem that will specify that the sampling must exceed the Nyquist rate. Yeah, now you already know what is this Nyquist rate. That is not the new term for you. One of the standard that has been decided, your all the sampling must exceed that rate at least. It should be greater than that, right? Then it is known as sampling. But what is aliasing? Here, by using the lower frequency in the sampled function, inverse transform is the corrupted function, because we were using very lower frequency, right? But when we are coming back, when we are applying inverse transform, at that time my function is now corrupted. So this effect caused by the undersampling function, right? Due to this undersampling function, this effect has occurred. So that is known as aliasing. Fine? Okay? Note it down in between. Whenever you are getting the time, note it down. Now, one of the things that why you are using this, see, into the spatial domain, what happened that each and every time, whatever the filters you are applying, no, that filter you need to apply on each and every pixel. So you have to use that correlation and this convolution. You are moving your filter onto your whole over image, and then you are calculating single value. Now you can imagine if I'm having my image that is 1000 cross 1000 and I'm applying the filter. So you can imagine, right? I'm generally taking what that is 3 cross 3, right? So that 3 cross 3 filter I'm applying on each and every pixel, and I'm calculating something, right? In the frequency domain, just by changing one of the frequency, it will be applied to all, right? So that is why less computation will be there as compared to this partial. Okay. What are the properties of this 2D discrete Fourier transform? What are the properties? Do you already know few of the here this property from your maths? Any of the property, if you know, I'm showing you this. Just check. Have you? Few things at least, what is rotation and periodicity, and few things maybe you know. Is it so? Yes, rotation and few thing at least you know about it, right? Okay, fine, no problem. Yes, that scaling also maybe, because if you know the rotation, then you must know the scaling, right? Then this Laplacian, what about that? Okay, fine. So, see, main are there here, the three properties. The three properties are the main property, you can say, that is of your 2D discrete Fourier transform. We define here the Fourier spectrum, phase angle, and this power spectrum like this. Here, f of uv, that you know. Now, this is your image which is converted already into your frequency domain, right? F of uv equals to, how you can represent that, r square of uv plus I square of uv raised to 1 by 2, means this is what, under root r square uv plus I square uv, right? This is what you can write. This is what your Fourier spectrum, how it will be represented. Your frequency domain will be represented in this term. This is how it will be represented. So that is your one of the property. Here R and I, that is nothing but real and imaginary part, right? R for real and I for imaginary. Okay. Then phi of uv. This is because we are talking about the phase angle, right? We are talking about the phase angle. So it will be represented like phi of uv equals to tan inverse I of uv divided by R of uv, imaginary divided by real. And this is what this tan inverse. How it comes and all, that is not given. Okay, so that is not given. So you can imagine that this is what the formulas you need to remember. Okay. Then this P of UV, that is what your power spectrum. P of UV equals to whatever is your spectrum that raised to 2. Means it's just a square of your Fourier spectrum, right? So here your Fourier spectrum is already given, that is r square UV plus I square UV raised to 1 by 2. Now it is into 2. So 2 will be cancelled, and this is what your r square UV plus I square UV. That is what your power spectrum. Okay. And it is already given R of u is real part of f of u, I of u is the imaginary part of f of u. Now you just have a look on this, all the properties, right? Just have a look once. Here, this three you already know now: spectrum, phase angle, and this power spectrum, because these three are the most important. You already know what is your Fourier transform and this inverse Fourier transform. Means this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 you already know, right? What is this polar representation? What is this average value? What is this translation? We will discuss this translation. But you can check the others also. Just read it once if you are getting anything, because this maybe we will discuss after your filtering techniques. Because see, in that we are only using the single term which is known as translation. That's what I am going to discuss. No other here this properties that what we are going to discuss. We are not discussing that those properties here, right? So that we can discuss afterwards. Now, what is your translation? See here what the translation is, no, that I will discuss by showing you this. This is what my one of the signal you can say, right? This is what my signal. Half of this 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2, 3. This is what my one of the repeated pattern. That is what my signal. That signal is at this origin 0. So half of the signal is here and half of the signal is here, right? This is your minus m by 2. So this is at the left, and this is what your plus m by 2. Because you are having here the total sample is m. We say no, you are having total m number of samples just for 1D. For a single dimension. So it will be divided at left and right m by 2 and this m by 2, minus m by 2 to plus m by 2, right? Now I want to shift this because my origin will get start from the 0, 0. My very first sample will be at 0, 0, generally into the spatial domain, right? So my very first signal would be over here, suppose, you can imagine that. So I want to shift this whole thing over here. So how much I have shifted? I have shifted by m by 2 because m by 2 was already there, and half m by 2 I have just shifted. So here now you can check from 0 to this, now you are having this one period, total m samples. Okay, here this is your origin and your origin is now at m by 2. So that is what your center, not origin, that is your center. Your origin is 0, 0, right? And your center is m by 2, n by 2, if it is into the 2 dimension, right? So this is now what your center, which I want, okay? So this is what they have explained about 1D. The same thing is about 2D. This is what about this 2D. I would be having my samples like this, and I need to shift it over here. So I have simply shifted it, right, like this. And so this is what my origin is 0, 0, but my center is m by 2, n by 2. N by 2, m by 2, right? So this is what my center. Are you getting? Right? So that is what the translation. So for that, what you need to do, You just need to multiply your value with minus 1 raised to x if it is your one dimension. If it is your two dimensions, then you need to simply multiply your f of xy with minus 1 raised to x plus y. That's it. So you can check over here. This one, right? Because see, now your x0, or you can say u0, that is at the center m by 2 and this n by 2. So now you can write this f of xy into minus 1 raised to x plus y, that you are writing f of u and v. First the function was what? F of u comma v, because it was u minus 0, v minus 0. But now we have shifted it, so now we are writing u minus m by 2, v minus n by 2. Okay. So this is how you are converting your image to the Fourier discrete transform now via this. And you are coming back from this via this. Via again you are multiplying minus 1 raised to your u plus v. Right. So you will again get your original image f of this, and then again we will shift our origin to somewhere else, and then we are finally we will get. So that process, if you want to see, then I'll show you. This is what the process. This is what I'll do, that minus 1 raised to x plus y and all. Then I'll apply, and then I'll convert into the Fourier transform. Then I'll shift to the original one, and then I'll get my original image into the spatial domain from the frequency domain. Okay, but that we will discuss into the very next lecture, right? So again, back to this properties. This is what your very first term. This is what your f of 0, 0. In the Fourier transform, your very first term 0, 0 is what? Then you will having that no Fourier series. In the very first term, that is the most important term. Right? Then you can check for the other properties also. This you can even read into the book, or I'll be having a snapshot of that book, and that I'll simply put over here, because this is what I have downloaded and then I have stretched, so the font is not so good. So I'll again take the snapshot and then I'll put this over here, and then only I'll upload it, right? So don't worry about it, or you can directly check your ebook. Okay? I have taken the screenshot from that only ebook. Fine. Then, if it is required, we will discuss this afterwards. Once we will see the whole frequency domain, then after we will discuss this. Because here each and every property we are not using. We are only using this translation for now. That's it. Okay. So if this is just what your theory question, right, to write this property, for that we will discuss this later on. Because right now if I'll explain you anything, then also it will be like bounce, right? But once we will see what is the frequency domain and all now, then and only then you will get to know this term. Okay. So what is this? This This is what image of your 20 cross 40 white rectangle onto the black color background. And your total image size is 512 cross 512 pixels. This is what your 20 rows and 40 columns, right? This is what a white color rectangle is drawn. If I'll convert this image to the frequency domain, no, then it will look like this. This is what they are showing. Okay, this will look like this. So here, this is what centered Fourier spectrum shown after application of this log transformation, right? We have applied here that log, and you can check this is what they are showing you, right? This is what your frequency domain, you can say, right? All the different frequencies are here, right? High frequency, low frequency, different frequencies combination. That is what your Fourier spectrum, right? So you can have low frequency, you can have the high frequencies. High frequencies are generally the one who is having the sharp transition. That what we have discussed, if you remember, right? So this high frequency would be there for your edges and for the noise. If you want to remove the noise, you have to cut off the high frequencies. If you remove the high frequency, it means you have removed your edges as well as the noise. If you are only allowing low frequencies, it means they are the main major content of your image, except edges, right? Now this is what the sine wave and its discrete Fourier transform. This is how it will look like. This is what your sine wave in DFT. And here with this rectangle, you can check how it looks like. With the ringing effect will be there. I mean, it will be like more. You know, it's just like the galaxy. So many blurring, and repetition will be there. This is what your frequency. Now you can check for this. This is what a single dot, right, into your spatial domain, which will look like this in your frequency domain. Okay. This is what a line, which is the vertical one, that will look horizontal. Why? We have seen no minus 1 raised to x plus y. We are shifting, we are doing the translation due to that. Okay. Then these are the two dots, and one of the dot, again it will look like this. If this is what a square you are having, then it will look like this. Again this, you can check. Again this diamond, rotated, right? Again the rotation is there, and it looks like this. You can check. This is what your rectangle will look like this in your frequency domain. This is again one of the rectangle which look like this into your frequency domain. Right? So this is what the rectangle in this figure A, which is translated, and the figure B is the corresponding spectrum. Figure C, rotated rectangle, and the figure D, that is corresponding spectrum. The spectrum corresponding the translated rectangle is identical to the spectrum which is corresponding to your original image. Because again when we will go back to the spatial, no, again we will rotate it, so it would be identical what we have given. Now you can check this. Centering the Fourier transform, that is what the main agenda. Figure A, that is 1D DFD, that DFT, that showing the infinite number of periods. This is what your continuous periods. Now, B, figure B is showing you shifted DFT obtained by multiplying your f of x by minus 1 raised to x, because this is your 1D. That is why only one variable is there, which is x, right? Before computing your f of u, before computing. So you have to do it as your pre-processing, and then you are computing for your f of u. Now you are converting your image into frequency domain. Then this figure C is showing you 2D DFT, right? Showing you infinite number of periods. The solid area is your M cross N data array, this solid, this one, right? It is already mentioned. Solid is your M cross N data array, and this is your periods of DFT. Okay. So what you are doing here is this array is consist of the 4 quarter periods. 4 quarter periods. So D is showing you a shifted DFT which is obtained by multiplying f of xy by minus 1 raised to x plus y, right? Before computing your f of uv. So this data now contains one complete centered period as in B. This is what your complete one of the period, right? Centered at m by 2, n by 2. Okay? And it will start their origin with 0, 0. Center is this. Fine. So now here we will stop, right? Next time we will see more things about the frequency domain, right, and basics of the filtering. But you can see over here, this is what your Fourier spectrum of your original image is, right? This is what your image of damaged integrated circuit. This is what one of the IC image of that damaged one, and here we are checking for the Fourier spectrum of this image. So it will look like this into the frequency domain. Okay. Fine. Now the next time we'll start with basics of filtering in frequency domain. Okay. So till this everything is clear. Say yes or no. Clear. Great. Fine. So you may write your numbers. Nancy, number 1, then 2, Rahil, and so on. Please write your numbers in sequence, huh? Please. Okay, fine. Anybody still remain to write the numbers? Ankit Nandani, Palak, Viraj, Vishnu. Have you written your numbers? If yes, then you may leave the meet. If anybody is remain to write the number, please write it down or else you may leave the meet. Okay. Viraj, I'm about to end the session. Please write your number.